Everyone. Well, today is another YouTube live, and I'm live across all the platforms. This is Facebook, also Instagram, and yes, TikTok. Here I am. It is the day of the solar eclipse. I think this is really meaningful that we are here celebrating an eclipse. And what eclipses do for us is they always bring out things that are hidden. And I want to talk about that a little bit today in terms of what has been hidden from you. So I'm not seeing any of the comments yet. Let's get going here. All right. So here we go. Where is everybody? Are you here yet? Am I here yet? Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. I'm seeing you guys now. All right. So what could you guys be thinking today in terms of astrology? There is so much going on. And I want you to know I'm here to answer your questions. Okay. Where are the questions coming in? You've been watching for 2 hours. Well, okay, Tanya, good morning to you too. I see you. So, and you're on Facebook. Great. I love the way all the platforms have the opportunity to talk live with me. So what I do want you to know is I can answer, let's see, most questions. Can we talk about a new medical improvements and innovations? Yes, I don't know if it's something that you know about, but one of the things that I am seeing astrologically is there's going to be new innovations. Everything in the charts are saying that. And I know that it's going to deal with vibration and frequency and something to do with possibly changing frequency in cells to heal sick cells. We will see, but this is the year it's going to come out. Okay. Pisces, here, any readings for us this week? Yes, Pisces, and I hope you're talking about the sidereal, because that's what I do. Otherwise, it's not going to fit. So sidereal Pisces, Saturn and Neptune are in your sign right now. And this is the time that a lot of things that you believed before are going to change. You're going to wake up to a whole new way of believing, because not just Neptune's there, but Saturn's there. Saturn deals with reality and Neptune deals with a way, the illusions or the old way of thinking that you're going to wake up to. The way you think, what you believe in is going to change soon. Okay. I just became live. We have an hour, so people are asking, how long have I been live? So I just opened it up. Yes. So wherever you are around the world, I say good morning. It's morning here in Dallas, but I know everybody's in a different time zone. Okay, so when you guys are talking about being a sun sign or a moon sign or an ascendant, you got to realize there's a lot going on than just from your sun, moon, or ascendant. When you ask me a question about a sign, it's so general. We need to have more specifics, okay? All right, let me take a sip of my lemon water here. Okay, somebody just asked about their Rahu Mahadasha. And that you're an Aquarius ascendant. Whoa. Aquarius ascendant, you have transiting Rahu right now in your first house. And this is a big year where everything's going to change. Sometimes when Rahu's in your first house, You even have a change of residence. I mean, everything is about to shift and change for you. And it will be a year sort of like where you feel there's a certain fate and destiny, because no matter what you choose to do, there will be a certain direction that the universe will point you. And it is always in your best alignment. So don't be surprised if the universe causes a big curveball in your life with you being in Rahu's dasha, with Rahu transiting your first house. So Rahu's dasha is the biggest change you'll go through, and you'll probably have a change of residence. Okay. All right, so let me see. So you have my book, Luck and Good Fortune. I'm in the Philippines and live in Oklahoma. I'm from the Philippines. That book, if you go to that chapter that talks about how Jupiter trines any of your planets and Rahu, that will be the time of when you'll come into fortune or luck. And by the way, Jupiter and Rahu this year, they're in a trinal aspect. So if you have a planet that both Rahu and Jupiter trine, and that must be a planet that basically is in Libra, or your planet is in Aquarius or Gemini, this is your year. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm not a psychic. I'm selling a home and a large shop, 5 acres. I don't have any information as an astrologer to work on with that. So I'm an astrologer. I need to work with where the planets are. Okay. All right. And I can't compute a chart in my head in 1 second. That's another thing. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Yes. So good morning. About the cyber attacks, is there anything that will arise so that, yes. So let me answer that question. Is there something to prepare for with cyber attacks? Yes. I'm looking at March. I've already done all of my videos for March. I'm always doing them way ahead. And around March 13th, this is going to be when Mars and Rahu conjunct, and Mercury is going direct. Mercury is going to be retrograde almost the whole month of March. But let me just say, around the 13th, 14th, and 15th of March, be aware of cyber attacks, anything to do with communications, computers. There can be a big outage or down, and be careful that whole period. There could be attacks of all sorts going on. Let me see. And let me see. You guys are amazing. You know so much about astrology. I love it. So does a retrograde planet act like it's in the opposite sign? A lot of people think when a transiting planet is retrograde, and sometimes a planet in your chart, it's not the opposite sign. It's the sign that it's looking at by retrograde, so the sign before. There is a theory about that, but I think look at the sign that the retrograde planet is in more than the sign before, okay? That's my experience. Okay. Okay, now you guys are telling me Western stuff. Okay, because of financial astrology has been best year ever in 2025. Let me tell you something about the finances in the world. I know things are more expensive. And but I don't see the economy crashing like other astrologers are. When Jupiter and Rahu are in a trine, usually that represents, yes, there's major expansion in the economy. And yes, things are more expensive, but people make more money. I don't know about you guys, but when I try to go out to a restaurant here in Dallas, they're all full. If you don't make a reservation a week before, you can't get in. I don't see where the economy is crashing like I did see in the year of 2008. You could get into any restaurant. Nobody was going out. People were saving their money. I think it's all big hype in the media that the economy is crashing. It's not, okay? All right. Okay, what is the significance of having Sun, Moon, and Lagna all in one? Taurus, all in the sign of Taurus. Your chart is so concentrated. And when things happen in your life, here's what I'm going to say. When it rains, it pours. You get everything happening all at once. And it's like when good things happen, it's one thing after another. And your chart is very predictable because when difficult planets aspect it, you're having a, one bad thing after another will happen, but likewise, one good thing after another. If you have all those planets in Taurus, look out, your life is about to change big time because Uranus is there. Uranus is in Taurus, and that's a planet that I call the Great Awakener. Something in your life is about to awaken up and change dramatically. That I can tell you for sure. Okay. You were fired when Ketu transited your ninth house. Well, that is right before the 10th house. And actually, because of the movement of the nodes being backwards, I can totally understand that. Yes. And if you were fired, then there's something much better coming. There is, because you basically, underneath it all, didn't like your job, and you unconsciously sabotaged it because you weren't happy in your work. You need something else much better that you feel purposeful and meaningful with, and that will come. Sun conjunct Jupiter in Sagittarius for Libra ascendant. In Sagittarius. Okay, yes. I mean, of course, that's good. Anyone that has a Sun conjunct Jupiter is going to be very optimistic, and things in your life will be easy, and you're very lucky. So I think it's good, unless the Sun is way too close to Jupiter, then it's combust. But otherwise, you have a very optimistic and bright way of looking at the world, and you attract opportunities. So can you talk about people who have eclipses in their chart? Yes. So people born on solar or lunar eclipses, you have a certain fate and destiny. It's definite. When you look at all the people that were born under eclipses, it's amazing. King Charles, Donald Trump, Prince, the Prince of Prince William. All these people are born under eclipses. Think about the power that they wield in their life. So yes, it's extraordinary and powerful. Life isn't all that easy, but there is power that's given to those born under eclipses. Yes. Okay, so I am not seeing any of the, let's see. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Victor. I see you there. All right. Let's see. So, okay. Sun aligned with a gull in the 11th. All right. This is an easy one. So, no, Saturn conjunct a goal in the 11th. You have some very difficult friends. The 11th house is friends. And when you have Saturn in the 11th, you have had difficulty through friendships, and you're not going to want to be in a lot of friendships because you don't feel like you can trust people after many of the experiences with Saturn on this fixed star. You have had probably friends that have addictions, have problems, and from those experiences, you shy away from friends unless you've known them for a really long time and you can trust them. Okay. Okay, how does Jupiter retrograde in Pisces in the 5th house at birth work? Jupiter in the 5th house all by itself is you have great creativity. You have great talent. There's a special talent and gift that you have. The retrograde can make it more intense. And it can mean that there's something from your past life that you carried over that you need to learn through. It might even be through your children if you have children. It can be through some of your creative projects. You brought that over, and there's a huge lesson to be learned from a past life when a planet is retrograde. So one person said on Reddit, now how does Reddit really know astrology? But that Saturn can deny things and not give blessings. Well, it feels that way because Saturn will deny things, but it makes you realize the truth, the reality. Saturn's karma. And if you don't learn through your karma, then you're not learning the lessons you came here to learn through life. So Saturn is that planet that teaches us what we need to learn through hard knocks of life. It's not fun. But remember this about Saturn. Saturn rules discipline. Don't we all need discipline to get things done? Yes. So Saturn rules discipline, responsibility, structure, form. If we didn't have Saturn in our life, we would be a mess. So thank God for Saturn. Okay. Okay, so one person is talking about dispositors, which is very advanced. What if the dispositors of Rahu and Ketu are in the ascendant? Excuse me. So here's the thing: Rahu and Ketu do not rule a sign. So you look at their dispositors. If the dispositor of either Rahu or Ketu are on the ascendant, there's a life of destiny and purpose. And definitely there will be hard knocks in life, yes, but the learning and the transformational experience from these planets will be extremely meaningful. It's not easy. Yeah, a lot of people are saying how they've learned their lessons through Saturn, yes. Okay, so transiting Pluto, aspecting natal Rahu or Ketu. Yeah, Pluto is the planet and it stays there forever. But Pluto is the planet that's going to really teach long-range lessons. And what Pluto does is it will take something away that you really, really thought you loved and thought you needed. And it's actually a blessing in disguise, with it being on either Rahu or Ketu. This means there is a huge transformational lesson that will happen. It's going to take about 1.5 years for the whole process to kick in. But I guarantee you, 2 years from now, you'll look back and you'll say, thank God that happened, or I couldn't be where I am today. That's how Pluto works. Oh, Joy says, my Neptune is always on my ascendant, or is on my ascendant. And I think you probably mean in your birth chart. It means you're a mystic, you're spiritual, and you have actually seen and experienced miracles in your life. And probably you're very deep into mysticism, and it can make you very, very intuitive and psychic. Okay, so let me see. Will there be a continuing house boom beyond June and July? June and July, look out. The prices are going to drop, the interest rate, everything is going to be more affordable. So my answer to you is yes. After that, it will continue on. It's not just for those 2 months. Okay, so yes, the person from India that said their Jupiter Mahadasha with the Taurus ascendant was terrible. You know, everybody just gets this generic sense and feel that Jupiter's going to be terrible. I mean, great, because it's a benefic. Saturn's going to be terrible. But when you have Taurus ascendant, Jupiter is the planet that rules your 8th house. It's your most difficult planet. So yes, for Taurus ascendant, I always use the example, probably most of you don't know who Christina Onassis was. I use this in one of my books. She was a Taurus ascendant. And she was like, her father was one of the richest men in the world at one point. But when when transiting Jupiter went across her ascendant, she died. Jupiter rules the 8th house. Likewise, for Taurus ascendant, Jupiter Mahadasha may or may not be horrible. It depends on where it's really placed in your birth chart. And I just want you to know, I went through Jupiter's Mahadasha, and when it first started, it was not easy. It was not fun. I'm in Saturn now, and Saturn's given me stability, and it actually feels much better than Jupiter. So there you go. Okay. Moon conjunct Venus in Scorpio for Libra. Okay. So Moon conjunct Scorpio in Libra. So you got a Libra ascendant, Libra. So that means it's in the 2nd house. And that would be really good for finances and money. So when Jupiter goes into Cancer, which will be June 1st through October 31st, then again at the beginning of 2027, that's going to be the time that money and finances will improve vastly for you. Okay, hope that's a little good information to hang on to there. Okay, that's a good question. One person said when they were born, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto were retrograde. These outer planets deal with the collective unconscious. Did you know that those 3 planets stay retrograde for 5 months out of the year? So it's really common for you to have the outer planets retrograde. And so what it means for you is dealing with the collective unconsciousness of the world. Things were in a reversal mode. People were looking back. People were taking things in. They weren't moving forward so much with society. Therefore, in your life, it's more serious about being more introspective, looking deep, looking within. And with those planets retrograde, you're probably deeper into metaphysics, especially, Pluto is transformative, Uranus is awakening, and Neptune is spiritual. So these are things that are, deep within you. And it's really important to find out if these planets are stationary, because even though in a chart they can show retrograde, they may be stationary. And when a planet is stationary, it is your most powerful planet in your chart. All right, sorry. The mornings I'm clearing my throat too much, sorry. All right, so effective Mercury, Uranus, Neptune conjunction in the 12th house in Capricorn. If you've got those planets in the 12th house, first of all, Mercury, that will make you a visionary. Pay attention to your dreams, most of all. You're a visionary, you get information, and many times it can come through your dream states, but very inventive, creative mind. I don't know who MBS is. Examine the chart of MBS. Sorry, I should know that, and I don't. Okay, so Bobby, your Atmakaraka, oh my gosh, it disappeared. Hope that comes back, because that was, the Atmakaraka is who you are, so remember that. It's very important. Okay, the highest degree, the Atmakaraka in a planet, what does that mean particularly? Saturn as the Atmakaraka. Your Atmakaraka is who you are. Therefore, everything that Saturn's all about is who you are. You're about discipline, focus. You're very orderly. You get things done. Saturn's my Atmakaraka. And, you know, a lot of people go, how do you have the energy to do so much? It's because I plan and I organize my time. And I know you do that too. Okay, hey, he's a guy in Surya. That still doesn't tell me anything. Okay, so is the Saudi Arabian crown prince. I'll mark that down. I do have his chart, and I don't know his chart off the top of my head, but what I will tell you is when I did my world predictions, I looked at his chart and made a prediction for him. So you know what? By next week, I'll go back and look at his chart for you. Okay. So you have Saturn and Moon in the 4th house. So that's what I got out of that one. Let me see. And Saturn and Moon in the 4th house. Your mother may be depressed. She may have some heavy responsibilities, and she's had some difficulty in her life. You probably have a sense to be close to her and take care of her. But even if this isn't issues about your mom, you have issues relating to your sense of security. You're always seeking that which will give you a sense of security. And if we don't have security, then we can't be happy. Did you know the 4th house is the house of happiness? And and when we're secure, when we feel safe, we're happy. So that is something that you're striving for. So one person said about the Mahadasha changing for a country. And yes, I've looked at that, and I know you're saying you're in Turkey. What about Turkey? I'll look at that. I do have the chart for Turkey, and I look at the chart of the United States. For example, the United States is in the dasha. I believe it's Rahu Mercury. And, and with it being in Rahu Mercury, it's in the 8th house of the United States. And that represents all the corruption concerning money and legal systems in the United States that is coming out in that dasha period. So yes, I look at dashas. And if a country is changing a Mahadasha, then the country is going to go through a radical change, yes. So one person said their 4th house has a lot of malefic aspects to it. Yeah, you're going to feel that you're always searching for security in life. And when you don't get it, it feels awful. So, and if you have a lot of malefics aspecting the fourth house, here's what I do know. You've got a lot of problems with your mother. And when people have problems with their mother, they don't necessarily feel loved. And that sets up a whole host of emotional problems throughout life. Can we do a private with you? Yes, I do readings. You have to go to my website, galacticcenter.org. I will tell you I'm booked up through June practically. Sorry about that. I say it's a good problem to have, but you can sign up for urgent readings. I set aside urgent readings for people that need them desperately. Yes, they cost more. All right. Okay, so Jupiter ruler in seventh ruler in the eighth. Okay, yes. When you have the seventh ruler in the eighth, you will have issues with relationships. I hate to say it, but it's true. It's always true. So with that, you came here to learn a lot of lessons through relationships. A lot of us have chosen that in this lifetime, right? But it's indicative that you're going to go through lessons with that. And it's not easy, but you can tackle it, you can do it. And yes, in this lifetime, you can have a good relationship, but it means you're going to go through difficulty and a learning process to get there. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Where am I going to start? I don't know about the governments in the Netherlands. I'll look up the Netherlands chart, which I think I did it in the world predictions class. So I've got to make note of that, Netherlands and the chart of the prince. Okay. And yeah, got it. Okay, effects of Kalasarpa. And Kalasarpa, I know you mentioned something about the chart of India. Kalasarpa, I talk so much about this in my classes because, well, I'll tell you what, when Mars goes into Aquarius in about a week, we're going to be under another Kalasarpa yoga for the world. All the planets will be on one side of the nodal axes. And that means there's a certain karma and destiny that has to be fulfilled during that time. So the Kalasarpa will go into action in about a week, and it will be there till June. And that means a certain karmic destiny will happen within that time period. I think March is pretty extreme with the Mars coming together with Rahu and Mercury. So look out, mid-March, something big will happen. And it's a certain destiny that must happen because of the Kalasarpa. Okay. And if you're born with the Kalasarpa yoga, all the planets on one side of Rahu and Ketu, by the way, the outer planets don't count in that yoga. But when you're born with it, it means your life will have major highs and lows. But usually when you hit a really low point, you will always rise to a much higher position than before. Okay. Okay, let me see. All right, these are coming in fast. When we get going, don't we? All right. You have Mercury trine Pluto to the exact. Mercury trine Pluto, let me just answer that. Anytime a planet is trine exact in your birth chart, it's always conjunct in the Navamsha. And that to me is when you have like Mercury trine Pluto, it is exactly like Mercury's conjunct Pluto. Seriously, this is my experience. And that means you've got to be careful not to be overly controlling. Your mind is, you think in terms of deep, profound issues. Pluto is about that. Everything, research, analysis, you go to the depths, but you've got to be careful not to be too controlling. And that drives you crazy when you can't be in control of something. So, you know, sometimes you just got to let it go. But yes, you do. You are a profound thinker. I will say that. All right. Can debilitated Venus bring wealth? I noticed, I don't know who Nita Ambani is. Debilitated Venus, bringing wealth, not necessarily, but I'll tell you what could be. If it's stationed, I mean, no, not if it's stationed. Debilitated Venus is weak. Venus is a planet of money, so I would not say that is the reason for the money. No. Gemini Sun in the 7th. Okay, so if you have your Sun in the 7th, relationships are so important. But the Sun, you've got to realize the Sun in a chart is overbearing, overwhelming, and whatever house your Sun is in accordance to people, the 7th house is going to be your marriage relationships or business partnerships. It means they're overwhelming, overbearing. They're going to be way too much energy at times, but they will be very powerful. So a very powerful partner, but you're going to have to stand in their shadows because they need attention. Now, the fact that it's in Gemini means they're incredibly smart and you need somebody that you can communicate with. That is number one in relationships. Okay. Uranus and Pluto conjunct in the 10th house in Leo. Changes in career this year. Okay, so yes, I'm going to say that because that means transiting Ketu is there and it's crossing over those planets. And when transiting Ketu is in the 10th house, people change jobs. So yes. Sun in the 4th house, meaning your mom's overbearing. Just remember this, in Vedic astrology, the sun is actually looked at as a mild malefic. And when I think about the sun, we can't look at it. It hurts our eyes. And therefore, the 4th house is indicative of the mother, a powerful, overbearing, intense mother with the sun in the 4th house. And it also could even indicate that you can do well with real estate. It depends on the whole chart. Rahu in the 1st and Ketu in the 7th. Okay, if you're talking about natally, you have a life of destiny. Things happen that shift your life when you least expect it. I think of Kennedy. I think of John Kennedy Jr. has Rahu exactly on the ascendant. Look at his life. He had no control over the issues that happened early on, his father being assassinated. His mother has Ketu on the ascendant. Jacqueline Kennedy had Ketu on the ascendant, and it just means a life of circumstances that come that you have no control over. It's like you have a life of destiny. Okay. Is debilitated sun conjunct Pluto? And, oh, I got that. Debilitated sun conjunct Pluto. Well, that means your sun is in Libra and it's conjunct Pluto. You got to be careful of issues around control. And probably your father had issues around control and was difficult. A difficult father, the sun is the father, and issues of feeling inadequate early on, but that usually develops into some of your greatest strengths. That's what I'll say. Okay, so Atmakaraka Jupiter and Darakaraka Moon conjunct in the 9th house. So Darakaraka is the relationship partner. Atmakaraka is you. So relationships will surround around 9th house matters. And it's in Pusha. So you are very spiritual. And you need someone in your life that is just like you, very spiritual. And you cannot be with anyone unless they have your same belief systems. Those are the people you're going to seek out. And those are the people that are going to be the most attractive. That's everything to you, your beliefs and your spirituality. And somebody that you can travel with, your partnerships. What are your thoughts of Vedic astrology using tropical placements? No, you can't do that. That is mixing the systems. It's wrong. It's crazy. Why would you do that? Vedic astrology is Vedic astrology. Western astrology is Western astrology. Do not do that. You're not going to get accuracy at all. Okay. Let me see. Ruler of the 7th house retrograde. That's a good question. The ruler of the 7th house being retrograde can actually mean that you're due to have a relationship pick off from a past life with somebody that you knew before. And there's a lot of lessons through relationships. And depending on what that planet is and what house it's in will give you further details. Okay. Pluto, you have the moon at 0 degrees. Midhaven, Pluto, and Uranus is everything in the 11th house. In Virgo, well, that can mean great gains in this lifetime. And they will come suddenly, unexpectedly, but most of all, you hang around with some very unusual people. You have some very unusual friends. So and the people that you bring into your life or your connections will be very unusual, and it will happen unexpectedly when you least expect it. Okay. When Jupiter, ruler of the 2nd and 11th house, in the 5th house in Gemini. Yes, your money and wealth will come through your creative projects or your children. It's just as simple as that. But the 5th house is also the house of creativity and talent. You have some really great talents. And actually, Jupiter ruling those two houses in the 2nd can mean you are very lucky with investments and possibly trading in the stock market too. All right. What house system do I use to cast charts? Lahiri. I use Lahiri. That's what most people use. It works. You know, I know there's all these other ones like Krishnamurti and all that. Just use Lahiri. It works. Okay. So Sun, Moon, Mercury in Scorpio in the 3rd house and Ketu in the 9th. So if you've got the Sun in Scorpio in the 3rd, then that means, and Ketu in the 9th, then that also means Rahu's in your 3rd, Ketu in your 9th. So you are amazing at communication skills and social media. Ketu in the 9th, there's some issues with your dad. Your dad was, somehow you didn't get the relationship you really wanted with your dad. He was missing or not available emotionally, and or he was very spiritual, but he was detached and you were disconnected to your father. But 3rd house, another thing about the 3rd house is your willpower. You are extremely strong and willful and will achieve things. You're good probably with computers. But another thing is there may be an issue with a sibling, a brother or sister, if you have any, and they have issues with the father as well. Okay. Okay, all right, you're going to be in my Trina. It's going to be in my class tomorrow. That's one thing. Thanks for bringing that up. Tomorrow, I start the beginning live class for semester 1 with the University of Vedic Astrology. Seriously, guys, I am putting so much into UVA. It's everything to me. It is really my passion in life to teach Vedic astrology. And if any of you have really wanted to learn this, if you take my university and you follow the course and my teachings, you will learn to be a professional astrologer. And that is my mission with every single student with UVA. I take them along through the entire course, and in the end, I prep them to be an astrologer. It's been my lifelong mission. I have been doing UVA for 10 years, and I'm actually redoing all of my videos for UVA right now. So whoever joins now gets a special bonus of all the new videos that I just created with powerful information. And this information that I'm giving you in UVA is not just from the books. It's from my vast experience, seriously, of 45 years of being an astrologer. I have experienced, oh, and by the way, I'm taking a lot of things from this book, Astrologer's Secrets, My Best Tools and Techniques. Those are all the things that I've discovered. It's not in the books. It's what I've discovered from 45 years of doing readings. There's specific things that work almost all the time. And I give them in my courses and make sure all my students get. Here's another thing. If you go to India and you try to study under somebody, they say you can't have this information. It's only allowed in their family line. I disagree with that. I give all the information to empower the next generation in astrology. So if you're thinking of joining UVA, becoming part of our astrological community, getting to know, I will get to know you personally. Come join before tomorrow, middle of the day. We have the beginning class, and I'm going to introduce and get to know all the new students tomorrow. So go to universityofvedicastrology.com, check it out, join our community. It never expires. You can be part of our school for as long as you want. All right, let's get going again. So Mercury in Virgo, in Uttara Falguni in the first house. You're brilliant. You're smart. Yes, that is exalted Mercury. In the first house, it's a Bhadra Yoga. That is when Mercury's in its own sign in an angle. And I'll tell you, people with Mercury in the first house like that have a fabulous sense of humor. They're great, they're brilliant, they're smart. They catch on to everything. I wish I had Mercury and Virgo in the first house. You're lucky. All right. So Moon Atmakaraka, let's see. Jupiter Dharakaraka, 5th house. Okay, Moon Atmakaraka, you're very sensitive, attuned to people, feeling, sensitivity of everything. And I didn't get what house it's in. And oh my goodness, somebody's writing in in different languages now. I love it. I can't read it though. All right. So let me see. Ruler of the 7th and 8th, retrograde, Cancer. Yeah, you've got very deep emotional lessons that you brought with you concerning relationships to this life, and you'll get there, but it's deep. Okay. All right, so some of these people, they don't need to be here. They're going to be nasty and not nice. Let me give you a little lecture. When you put out negative, hateful energy, you're going to get it back in your life. So remember, I want to put out love and healing for this world, because that's what's going to come back. When you put out anger, you're going to wonder why the world's such an angry place. but it's actually a reflection of who you are. All right. Okay. Okay, you want Bitcoin prediction. I don't have anything on Bitcoin right now, so that's why. I actually looked at the chart for Bitcoin, and I was able to predict the highs and the lows. This time, I can't see it in the chart. I'll look at it again, but it's really kind of, I have to be honest with you, it's surprising to me that it went down. And it will go back up. I know that, but we've got, especially when everything goes back up next summer. I actually did see a time period, let's see here, when I think Bitcoin will go up. And I'm going to have to go back and don't quote me on this, but I think it was May. I'm going to go back and look for you for next time. But I haven't looked at that chart for a while, but it was surprising that it went down this time. Okay. All right. Why do most, if not all, Western astrologers have a serious case of TDS? Oh my God, it didn't. It's actually all astrologers. It's funny. Atmakaraka and Darakaraka in conjunction. Your partner will be a lot like you. That's what that is. And you know, a lot of people, especially for me and my partner, we're complete opposites. So your partner will be more like you in so many ways. All right, there's some people that don't need to be here. Yeah. Okay. That Jeffrey Epstein situation is, I think there's going to be more coming out, a lot more coming out about it in March, because of that conjunction of Mars, Rahu, Mercury, Mercury's communications, and Mercury's retrograde in March. So it brings out things from the past and deep, dark stuff that's going to be very telling. So I think there's more to come. That's what I'm going to say with that. Mercury and Pluto exactly opposite each other. Mercury is how we think. It's how we process information. And Pluto opposing that is so powerful. You are a deep-minded person, but I'm going to tell you this, because oppositions are always about relationships. You got to really look how you relate to people. And you somehow seem to attract a lot of people that want to control you and control how you think. Drives you crazy. That is something you've got to look at and look at within yourself, because sometimes you may be the one, although you can't see it, that is controlling, because we attract what we are. And I'm seeing relationships that drive you crazy with issues around control. Okay. All right. So Saturn, Venus in the 5th house in Capricorn. Capricorn, yeah, in the 5th, let's see. So Capricorn in the 5th house, it's really, the 5th house is talent, creativity, and it is the house of Pruva Punya, which means past life good karma that is due in this lifetime. And you have many gifts you're here to develop. And, with that could be difficult, I find sometimes, with children, because I think you said Saturn. Yeah, so that is something to look at, but incredibly gifted and talented, especially in business. That's who you are. Yes. Scorpio stellium, 5th and 6th house. So the 5th house, of course, is your creativity. The 6th house is your work. And with all of that going on, I don't know if you have a connection to like the ruler of the 5th in the 6th, but one way or another, it can deal with you are a healer. And that is what you're going to go into, the healing arts, with the 6th house and the 5th house being there. I know. So it's the 17th. Yes, this is the solar eclipse. And here's what I want you to know about solar eclipses. This is where the new moon is. A solar eclipse is the new moon that's with Rahu or Ketu. This one's with Rahu. So this is where a seed is planted. The new moon is like a beginning. By the time of the lunar eclipse, by March 3rd, we're going to see what it is that's been hidden for a long time. This goes for all of us personally in our own lives. What is it that is going to be revealed in the next 2 weeks when we come to the lunar eclipse? And that's another reason why I say a lot of things that have been hidden will be revealed from the dark to the light. Even all this dark and dirty stuff about governments, Epstein, all that stuff. Watch in 2 weeks what's being revealed. Okay? Okay, so why do some Vedic readers say Aquarius is Saturn? No, it's not Uranus, because Vedic astrology, in terms of house rulers, do not use the outer planets. Okay, I use the outer planets, but not as house rulers. And if you take my course, I explain this very clearly, why we only use the planets that are visible to the naked eye, and that means from the planets, the sun, moon, and the 5 planets, plus the sun and the moon, the 7 planets, we use those as house rulers. And yes, we don't use the rulerships of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So Mars rules Scorpio, Saturn rules Aquarius, and Jupiter rules Pisces. And there is a very logical, real reason why, because the 3 outer planets really do rule the collective unconscious, the masses, the people, and they predict world events and generations of people, the outer planets. If you have an outer planet, though, conjunct tightly or opposed one of your natal planets, it affects it profoundly. But we do not use the outer planets for house rulers of the signs. Yes. How long are my readings? An hour or an hour and a half? You can choose. Rahu 4th, Ketu 10th. I don't know if that's natally or transiting. If Rahu is in the 4th house and Ketu's in the 10th house, you'll never feel like home is home. You're always searching for a new place to live. The grass always looks greener on the other side. Ketu in the 10th house. You've got to do something with your work, with your career, that is meaningful, that is purposeful. Otherwise, you'll be changing jobs a lot. Ketu in the 10th house, very unusual job. I actually have Ketu 10th from my moon. You got to admit, my job is not the usual job out there. So, okay. Jupiter's in the 1st and Mars in Cancer in the 11th. So Jupiter in the 1st is you're always protected. Always protected. You may find you get into sticky situations, but somehow you're divinely protected and you get out. Mars in the 11th, you got to be careful of your friends. You're going to have some friends that are very jealous and difficult to deal with. And yeah. And or you have an older sibling. You might be the oldest though. That causes problems. You're a Scorpio ascendant with Rahu 1st and Mars in the 3rd. How am I as a person? Mars in the third. If you have a sibling, they're always a problem because that's a karaka of the third house in the third house. So, and you love to travel, go places. You're extraordinarily strong in your willpower. And I say willpower is the most important thing in life because that allows us to get things done. Yeah. Okay. So I don't see who is in super chat today. So Daniela, I'll watch for you when you come around. Put your question. I can't tell who is in the super chat. Okay, no, Venus at 29 degrees of Libra. All right, so well, I just got to say, Venus at 29 degrees of Libra. Actually, Jupiter's going to trine that coming up pretty soon in May. Look out, in May, you're in for some lucky things. And if you're looking for relationships, it'll happen. And or it could happen. I need other things in a chart. I can't definitely say that, but it could. And or some wealth can come to you. All right. Okay. Let me see here. All right, I just noticed it is after time, but I'm going to stay here for a few more minutes and answer as many questions. Jupiter, Saturn in the fifth house in Aries. Well, I got to say, if you got Saturn in Aries, it's debilitated, but Jupiter helps out tremendously. You're incredibly talented. You're gifted. You're smart. And when you have both planets together, it is like a form of manifestation. Jupiter gives opportunities where Saturn gives you the discipline to get things done. And that's the story of your life. Use your talents, you will be a success. Even though Saturn's debilitated, being in the fifth house, it could cause some issues with children though. Okay, so okay, let's see. I have Ketu in the seventh house in Taurus with Venus in Aquarius, conjunct Saturn, Sun. Whew, they got a lot going on. One thing I can tell you with Ketu in the seventh, be careful of attracting people that use you or that are victims. And you have to look for someone that is on a spiritual wavelength with you. Otherwise, they will drain your energy with Ketu in the seventh house. Yes. Let me see. You're a triple Taurus here. So Tauruses are very grounded. I love the sign Taurus. Some of my husband's a Taurus in both systems. So you must love nature, beauty, and animals. I don't know how many zoos we've had to go throughout my life with one of my sons being Taurus and my husband being Taurus. They love animals and always have pets around them. They love nature and beauty. Yes. All right. So let me answer one more. And yeah, somebody's helping me out here. Short questions if you want an answer. Thank you. Okay. Moon, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, all in Virgo. All right, Moon and Jupiter. Let me just say that's a Gajikasri yoga. Moon, Jupiter is one of the best conjunctions you can have in a chart because it makes you optimistic about the future. Even though with Pluto being there, actually it makes you extraordinarily powerful. Jupiter, Pluto. And the moon, your optimism will always carry you through to a much of your life and bring you opportunities. All right, so, okay, so I am, it's 11:08 right now, and I just want to say one more thing. My sun is in Aquarius, rising in Dhanishta. What to expect after eclipse? Well, let me just tell you this to be aware of for you. Mars is going to be on your sun soon. So lay low. Don't let things get you riled up and angry. Mars and Rahu and Mercury are going right over your planets. So take it easy. Let me give this valuable information to everyone out there. If you have any planets around 14, 15 degrees of Aquarius or Leo, take it easy this month and next month. Lay low. If you have to travel, just take it easy, because there's too many things happening concerning anger, frustration, possible attacks, and just craziness in the world. People will be riled up. There can be some major events happening in the world. Just take it easy. Use this time to look deep within yourself. You'll have the energy to change things, but don't let people get you riled up or angry. And for the closing here, I want to say thank you to all of you for coming and making this day special for me. I love you, and I hope to see you in class tomorrow. Check it out. It's a big deal. We don't start semester 1 all the time. And that is where I'm starting at the beginning of my entire course. A lot of people say, how long does it take to finish? If you follow through and you study, really study, I'm going to give it a solid year for you to be able to be an astrologer, really be able to read the charts. And a lot of people, it takes less time, but I'm just saying, if you stick with it, slowly but surely does it. And I want to meet all of you, see you in my class. So remember, it starts tomorrow. It's an auspicious time. I picked the time for the beginning of the class with Jupiter on the ascendant when it starts. So I hope to see you guys there. Thank you for being here. And I